All right, folks, next up on the block, we've got for you 8 comic books. You're going to get them all in one lot, one bid. Since we can't have you here in the studio, we've got bidders from all over the country, all over the world bidding on these items. We can't have you all here. You just won't fit. And it would be kind of a mess. For those of you that are here in the studio, you can look at it yourself. But for the rest, for everybody else, I'm going to do our best, our level best to make sure that you get an opportunity to see this just as you would if you were here in the studio with us. So first things first, on each of these books, including this really cool Evil Ernie, you Brian Pulido fans, for you Lady Death fans, we'll start off with this. Let's crank that light back a little bit. And I'm just going to shine the light on the cover. You can look for little spine ticks, pressure areas. We're going to look for any kind of creases or scratches, scrapes, cuts, smudges, anything like that. I'm not seeing any of that other than some of these spine ticking here. And what we'll do is I'll do my patented little wiggle jiggle here just to give you a little bit better idea. Some of that light's a little bit harsh. We'll work on that. And I think part of that is because of this silver reflective Evil Ernie cover. We'll flip it over on the back and we'll see the same. So you see a little bit of spine ticking, but no creases, nothing like that, nothing that can't be pressed out. A little bit right there. So that's something that you normally don't get a chance to see in the catalog by itself. You can't really see all that up close. And of course, something that you never see in anyone's catalog. What is this? They just gave up on this page. Is, oh, we got a little Lady Death pinup. More Lady Death in here, of course. Some more Evil Ernie right here from Quesada and Palmiotti. But what we do is, now what I consider to be white or off-white or cream, you may disagree with. You may think that this is something entirely different than I do. So instead of relying on me, taking my word for it, instead, I'm just going to show you. So now that's why we do this. We can show you the quality and condition of the interiors as well. Not to mention, if there is something like this pullout, sometimes those are missing. Sometimes Johnny gets this home back in 1990, whatever it was, pulls this out, tacks it to his wall. You end up getting this comic book years later, none the wiser. So you know that stuff like that, or those jeweler's inserts or whatever, are going to be. So that's how we're going to do it for each of these comics. You're going to get all 8 of them, but I'm just going to walk you through as quick as we possibly can. So that is from Chaos Comics, Evil Ernie #1. We're moving on to some more mainstream stuff, some Ghost Rider. This is from the 90s. This is number 52 of Ghost Rider Volume 2, I believe, yes? Yes, Volume 2. Show you the cover here. Pretty good. A little bit of stress points here on the spine. I would say that this is newsstand, but they were doing some weird stuff around this time, so this might be direct edition. I think that this is newsstand. I had to take a guess. Oh, look at that Carnage artwork. We'll show you the back here real quick. Not seeing too much out of the ordinary. A little bit right here and a slight. Look at that slight crease. Let's zoom in. You can see it. Slight crease right there. A little bit of stress on the spine. Let's show you quality and condition of the pages. Obviously, we don't want to show you the whole thing for copyright issues. We'll just sample a few pages. And that should be that. Moving on here to Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, this is the Guardians of the Galaxy that I grew up with. I am not as familiar with the newer Star-Lord and all of those. For me, it was this ragtag team right here, heading on out through the 31st century. I love it. I hope you do as well. Looking a little bit of stress right here. I don't even know if it rises to the level of a spine tick, but a little bit of stress right there. It's a thick cover. Those tend to get damaged a little bit less, excepting for those Superman Death of Superman, or Return, I don't remember what it was, of Superman ones where they had the die cut in the middle. Those get destroyed. It's so few of those that are in great shape. Bit of right there, but the rest of these thick cardboard covers, they tend to withstand the years. See no man right there? And then we'll zoom back out. We'll show you quality and condition of the pages. Stuff right there, including Ego, the Living Planet. And there you go. So you know you're getting. Let's move on to Doctor Strange. And this is number 19. It's from the early 90s, if I'm not mistaken. 90, what's it say on here? 1990, so $1.50. That was a lot of money back then. Let's see if it lives up to hype. Worth that $1.50 back. Bit of a crease right there. A little bit of creasing. Let's see. And of course, we do this in 1080p. Hopefully it doesn't downscale, but the idea is that you can go back and zoom in if you need to. Some Gene Colan, so right off the bat we're doing pretty good. Maybe it's worth $1.50. An idea of color and condition, we try to find a page that has a lot of white on it so you can see that. Look at this. No longer with us anymore, but there are conventions still going on in and around that area. So there you go. Now you have an idea of that one. We're going to move on to some Kirby, some Jack Kirby and his Captain Victory and the Galactic Rangers. This is getting harder and harder to find now. This is issue number 11. And some pretty neat stuff going on here. It's got all the standard Kirby flags that you would expect. Some stress a little bit here, and that's starting to rust. It might be. Let's take a look. I want you to be aware. You can see some discoloration on that staple. But still worth it for the Kirby. Some wrinkling in here. Corners look pretty good. Maybe slight bend right there. Got this line running through. So nothing a good pressing couldn't help. Aware of it. Now it's tougher on these white covers. They tend to not reflect the light quite as good, but I do want to show you some bit of bending right through there, like crease line right there. And then let's see quality and condition of the pages. Oh, pure Kirby. Oh. Hey folks, at this, zoom out so you can see it. Talked about those staples a moment ago. Well, here's why. Staple. I've done this. Glad we got a chance to see that and make it known to you. Still makes for a good read. Collecting it for some kind of value. Not going to hold up that well. Nonetheless, the story is here and complete. Now you know half the battle. Make sure that there's no other issues with any of the pages. I think so. It is missing that. So be aware. As we move on to Incredible Hulk number 265 versus the Rangers, all of whom are all of these guys dead now? I think Scourge might have taken out at least a few of these there. I don't remember. Did Scourge kill any women? Might have been too much over the top given when this was written. This was 1981. I don't even remember when Scourge was, so that made a... Yeah, that would have been a little bit later, 84 or so. Taking a look here, I'm not seeing much. A bit of stress right there near the spine. That, I don't know if that rises to the level of a tick. And again, this is a newsstand copy. So that's kind of surprising that it doesn't have that line across from where the spinner rack tends to get it. And a little bit right there. Corner's looking pretty good though. Here, do a little wiggle jiggle. Too bad. And there you go. White pages, so you get an idea color and quality inside. Hulk versus the Rangers. Incredible Hulk number 265 from 1981. Yes. Firestorm, the Nuclear Man. This is Fury of Firestorm, yes? Yeah, Fury of Firestorm number 53. The first one, right? Version 1? Yeah, Volume 1, number 53. So if this were a Pokemon battle, I think we know who would win. Oh, but then there's also a giant rock. So maybe, who knows? Show you the quality and condition of the cover. Pretty good right there. Let's walk it down. Not a ton here. That one staple looks a little bad. Let's see what it does on the inside in a moment. This looks like a crease that is actually part of the artwork. A panic that's line right there is part of the artwork, but the rest has a little bit of stress. Out there, let's get it over here. Wiggle jiggle on the corners. Slight bending there where somebody tossed it in a box. Tends to get bent out. Good right here. Back cover looks nice. No real issues. And let's take a look at the quality and condition of the pages. Definitely want to make sure that there's no issues with the staple. You can see that there is, even though this one looks a little bit loose. Doesn't feel loose, but it does look it. Sure, all the pages are in there, and they are intact and good. Moving on to Mighty Thor number 359 rather, sorry. The last of our comics in this particular grouping. You're going to get them all. And I'm going to show you this one. A little bit of curling here, but no real tick marks on the spine. Unlike that last one, this does look a little bit bent right. Probably folding it over while Johnny was reading it. There's no actual young Johnny. I just use him as a representation of any child in the 70s, 80s, or 90s who may have purchased this and owned it first. Or it got to our consignor. Who knows? Maybe it was our consignor. A little bit right there. He himself or she herself. As we move back to the back here, we've got that little bit of bend. And I like this back cover because it really pops out light. You can't hide nothing on this back cover. Reflects it so well. You see those little bit of marks, which is good. And then finally, we'll show you just the end of it. Here, we'll show you some quality and condition of pages. Not half bad at all. Have it. Mighty Thor, number 359. So you're going to get this, and you're going to get everything else in this particular grouping of comic books. It's all going to come at you. Head on over to TheBigToyAuction.com. Leave your pre-bids right now, right today. This is live. Go get it. And then come back on auction day, where you will hear me bid call, scream and yell and shout. You will get an opportunity to defend your bids and enhance your chance of taking all 8 of these home, whichever way you choose to do it. We look forward to seeing you at auction.